With midterm polls tightening in key races in favor of Republican candidates across the country and that blue wave beginning to slip away, liberals are attempting to neutralize the GOP's most effective campaigner. Of course, I'm talking about President Trump. In the last few months, he's delivered results for the American people on the economy and trade, just to name a few. And of course, he stood strong on law and order, Justice Kavanaugh, and border enforcement. But in the wake of the tragic slayings at a Pittsburgh synagogue over the weekend, some on the left have labored to blunt the Trump momentum by trying to link the president to this lunatic anti-Semite shooter. MSNBC's In Morning Joe even sought to connect the president's views on the migrant mob to the mass shooting. Now, see if you can follow this line of reasoning.
The last caravan that they whipped up frenzy about actually only brought 14 arrests by the end of the caravan. They know it's a lie.
Yeah.
And they are spreading hatred across America. And at the end of the day, Mika, again, inspiring people like this Pittsburgh mass murderer.
Okay. Now, if you can't follow that thinking, the idea, at least, is transparent. Tag conservatives with a gruesome tragedy and then push for the conscription, the restriction of speech that liberals find abhorrent. Now, we saw this shameless politicization in the wake of the Mandalay Bay and the Parkland shootings as well. Each time, conservatives were singled out and condemned as somehow being guilty or complicit, when nothing could be further from the truth. Now, remember when that negligent Broward County Sheriff Israel tried to blame the NRA for the Stoneham Douglas shootings?
This monster carrying bullets to school, carrying knives to school, assaulting students, assaulting his parents, 39 visits in the past year, that should never have been allowed to get that far.
And I understand you're standing up for the NRA. You just told this group of people that you are standing up for them. You're not standing up for them until you say, I want less weapons.
Now, the idea then and now is to declare conservatives toxic and tie them to a tragedy in hopes of just shutting them up or scaring them so they won't speak out. Effective conservative political speech has to be stifled at all costs, particularly Trump's. Now, this is former President Barack Obama trying to accomplish just that over the weekend.
There's nothing compassionate about ripping immigrant children from the arms of their mothers at the border and putting them in pens. Think it's wrong to spend all your time from a position of power vilifying people, questioning their patriotism, calling them enemies of the people, and then suddenly pretending that you're concerned about civility. Come on.
Now, you come on. You were the president who expanded the family detention and separations out of concerns that children were being trafficked in human trafficking. Now, that Trump does the same thing, he's depicted as some kind of monster? Give me a break. And MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell tried to go even further, attempting to blame not only the president, but his supporters for the horrific shooting in Pittsburgh. Now, that was until a congregant at the Tree of Life synagogue shut her down.
It's not just our political leaders, because we see thousands of people at rallies starting in 2016 and straight through to this weekend who are cheering hateful speech.
I really can't think of anything less helpful than to be politicizing this. I mean, this man hated Jews. He actually hated Trump, as it happens. Some people are trying to, discourage Donald Trump from coming to Pittsburgh. He should come.
Now, the president is going to Pittsburgh tomorrow with the First Lady to pay his respects to the families at the Tree of Life synagogue and to comfort the grieving, which is only the right thing to do. The very idea that the president would condone or countenance a rabid anti-Semite killing innocent people in prayer is absurd and it's offensive. He has a Jewish daughter, he's a Jewish son-in-law, and Jewish grandchildren. He has been one of the most vociferous and strong supporters of Israel that we've ever had. He relocated the American embassy to Jerusalem in the face of incredible resistance, despite the fact that all these other presidents promised to do so. And the president told me today at the White House he is undaunted by the liberal attacks and their outrageous implications. Now, the left can go right ahead. go right on with their pathetic attempts to demonize this president in the last days of this midterm campaign, but it will not work. But it does reveal their desperation. His warning of an approaching horde of non-citizens, one organized by outside political forces, is not messaging hate. It's standing up for America's sovereignty. It's what presidents should do to protect the nation and to preserve the integrity of our own laws. And the Democrats know that is also a winning political message, which is why they're stooping to use tragedy to smear the best campaign closer the GOP has ever seen. Good luck, my friends. It will not work. And that's the angle. And now my interview with President